Yeah, so it's for murder charges.
This is 60-year-old Elaine Gwyn. She's briefly seen here leaving this apartment complex with a briefcase. This is the last time she would ever be seen alive. Elaine's body would be found 13 days after the last time she was seen on CCTV. Police believe she was entangled in a deadly love triangle prior to her murder. Over the course of the next several months, this whole case would turn out to be far more complicated and more disturbing than they could have ever imagined.
I know it's the first thing saying. This is a bad deal with him. He's on
On February 13, 2023, Elaine Gwyn was seen leaving her longtime job at Sugar's Diner. She had just told her daughter over a text message that she was on board discussing things from her friend Mike, who she had recently moved in with, at breaking up with her ex-boyfriend Sam Bremer only a week earlier. Strangely, she'd specified that her coworker at Sugar's Diner would be the one to drive her there. However, as Elaine left her workplace, no coworker would show up. Instead, strangely, her ex-boyfriend Sam would be open. Her hours would go by, but Elaine would never show up to Sugar's. The owner of the restaurant, Megan, would begin worrying as to where Elaine moved on and started frantically sending her messages asking for her whereabouts. But oddly, she would receive a single message back saying, "Leave me alone, I'm done." This was very strange coming from Elaine, as she almost never texted, usually returning phone calls, and was often extremely responsible. Something strange was going on. The day would go by, and Elaine would never be seen. The following day, Elaine's daughter would file a missing person report for Elaine to the Council of Possible Department, and an investigation began. Detectives would begin collecting CCTV footage from everywhere in town to try and fully document where Elaine vanished the day of her disappearance. This would be quite a lengthy process, so without anything to go by, police would start asking her family and friends. Apparently, after leaving her ex-boyfriend Sam Bremer a week earlier, she had stayed with her new friend, Mike Rockman, a man her family claimed had likely assaulted her the night before she disappeared. This shined a suspicious light on both of the men she was involved with, so police would bring in both Sam and Mike for interrogation and see if they could find any leads. Mike was a friend of Elaine's who met her at Sugar's and came for close overtime. It was still unclear to officers what happened to Elaine. At this point, for all they know, she could have just gone MIA and checked everything from her stressful life. However, if anyone would have clues as to where she went, it would be Mike.
So basically, I mean, as you know, I talked to you on Monday, Wednesday, I guess. So the first day I talked to you, I received information on something that you and I were possibly in a relationship, or kind of working maybe 30 days or a week or so. But if you could just kind of go before one of these tests, I guess I'm sure she ended up your place, second thing.
She was a waitress at church, and I was in there and I talked to her before and stuff like that. And then she told me, I don't know, it was like on Tuesday or Wednesday night that she got kicked out. She needed a place to stay. That's what you say in my place for a couple days. And it was Friday. She called me and she said, I will come back. He said, we have back together, her boyfriend. And all I know is the first name Sam. I don't know anything else about it. And so I had to see her. And then she called me crying on that Saturday night. And she said, oh, yeah, can I come out for a day? I said, you come back out. But you gotta be on money because I can't have this. I'm single. I don't want anything like this going on.
Two initial thoughts can be made upon hearing the next story. On one hand, it seems like Sam was back together with Elaine, so Sam would be a much stronger person of interest, as he likely been the last person to see her. On the other hand, Mike may have had a deep connection with Elaine, meaning if he learned she got back with her ex-boyfriend just days after moving with him, he could play a sinister role in her disappearance. But detectives plan to tell his side of the story before confronting him about the suspicious relationship.
So I got to work Monday morning, we yesterday, dropped her off at 5 a.m. And she was supposed to get off at, she said 7 or 8 hours, gonna pick her up. She's gonna go to her mom's and get her safe at 8 hours. And then she's supposed to come back and work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I get a phone call from the bar saying, hey, you seen her? I said, I haven't seen her. I haven't talked to her. No. Well, she didn't show up for work. She didn't show up. I said, I haven't heard anything. And I tried to contact her, couldn't get over her. So I sent a text message, I saw your stuff, it's backed up. There's gonna be something behind the bar. You gotta get out of here. I don't want to mess with any more of this. And I never, since 5 o'clock that night, I never had any contact with her, phone, text, or anything. And then I didn't know anything until right before you called me that she came up missing.
Mike would go on to claim that he never had any relationship with Elaine, and that she stayed in a completely different room and living in his house. However, detectives know more about Mike than he thinks, and with some information Elaine's close friends shared with them, they don't believe he and Elaine were just friends.
Did you, has anybody saying to you that Eileen was saying anything about you? Have you heard anything about her making any statements about you and your behavior while she was staying with you out there?
No.
Did you ever heard that she made a statement that you possibly assaulted her while she was out there?
No.
Okay. That statement was made to a couple people that you supposedly laid down on her bed with her and swung her from behind. Is that, can you tell me any of that or any of those statements?
I would not do that because I said she was loose cannon.
I mean, here's the girl, man, she's her home. You know, if there was any type of contact between you, sexual, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I mean, she was trying that first night she got out and I helped her. Okay. But there was no relationship, no asking for her or anything.
This information is, well, concerning. Considering it would be unlikely to develop lies of this magnitude. However, with little to no evidence, other than a few rumors coming from her friends, police can't harbor these allegations, decided to wrap questioning up. At this point, Mike is still considered to have potential involvement in Elaine's disappearance. So we'll have leads. They direct their attention to the only potential suspect, Elaine's ex-boyfriend, Sam Bremer.
Yes, I'm the starting to talk about my phone. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that. I'd say the last person saw before she went missing.
Sam wasted no time adding more suspicion to his name. The phone recording shows that the detective never mentioned Sam being the last seen alive. Elaine has been missing for the last 48 hours at this point, so the fact that he's already alluding to the idea that she said is awfully disturbing. It's only mark the beginning of Sam's unsettling choice of words during the interview.
Yeah, that's I think it's here. I recorded on back. Let's do it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how I said it. But I guess we got crazy over. I mean, it's evidently it's her family and everything else. She's never done this kind of thing before. She's never just took off and gone. Well, she was before that time. But she was yeah, they said she didn't call her yet. The daughter told me that she was on her. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's, if you could, I just need to know what went on Monday morning. What happened Monday morning with you? Okay. And what way I come here because one of her friends told me to go down here and look at guys. So did you say her name? Okay. No, right there. And I said, I'm going inside. I went and over for everything. That's okay. And I left using truck. We got off, around this, supposedly wanted trying to do something. And got out there. Then I left. And then a bunch of people she told me, I think she was out of time. You can't my room, you can't. But she was out of my room. I didn't like her. That's what it is. You know, that's what she asked me. One of the other talking to me. I let her back in. And just say, I was sure.
This statement adds more weight to Elaine's allegations toward Mike. If Mike did do these things to Elaine, then moving out as being with Sam would be completely logical. On top of his statement, with Sam's voucher, detectives will make the allegations much harder to dismiss and place all the suspicion back on Mike.
And you go to work, go back there. They could be like shit. You've seen it. They have. And that's what you tell me. Let me tell you this earlier. When I was talking to you, you're drunk. You're drunk and you're honest. That's why I can't do this anymore. Please, I don't want to text you no more.
I'll be friendly at work. And I'll get this off.
Based on these texts, it really seemed like Elaine's disappearance was just a way for her to get a break from her traumatic life. If this allegation are true and her ex-boyfriend refused to give her a place to stay, well, then running away for the time being is completely reasonable. Same story seems solid so far, but there's one tiny detail that just doesn't quite add up, and this detective has just picked up on it.
But you said you dropped her off at Mike's house, and you watched her walk into the...
Oh, she did, and she walked right around and stuff.
Okay, so you didn't see her in the house, anything like that. So she had walked away from there. I mean, that's probably away from your apartment complex, I wonder how she would have got to you.
Oh, wait a minute, what's my girl?
Sam claims the day of Elaine's disappearance, he drove her from her workplace at Sugar's Diner over to Mike's house to get her belongings. After that, he drove off, assuming she was being picked up by one of her friends. Fortunately, police can easily cross-reference these claims using surveillance footage. At this point, the majority of the CCTV camera footage has been obtained for the day of Elaine's disappearance, so she just quickly wrapped up Sam's interview so that it further investigated claims. Additionally, the detective would apologize for assuming Sam's earlier word choice was suspicious. After nearly 48 hours of compiling surveillance footage from around town, officers managed to put together a complete timeline of Sam and Elaine's car ride. At 8:30 a.m. on February 13th, Elaine patiently waited at work, Sugars, for Sam to pick her up. Elaine never arrived to her personal apartment since Mike had picked her up. She would tell her boss daughter that a friend was picking her up because she didn't want anyone to know her and Sam were together. Elaine Sam would first drive to her mother's apartment to the courts. She would be seen carrying a suitcase like object out from her mother's apartment, then leaving with it. This turned out to be a safe containing $1,200, which she had planned to use as a down payment for an apartment. At 9:30 a.m., they would drive directly to the Sugar complex to purchase the apartment. However, the complex happened to be closed, so they weren't able to purchase anything. This is where timeline starts to deter from Sam's claims in the interrogation room. From 9:45 to 10:30 a.m., Sam's car could be seen driving all across town. He went in multiple circles and even put up her in 10:30. However, he never drove Elaine to Mike's house like he claimed. In fact, Sam's car could be seen driving the opposite direction to Mike's house the entire morning. This is concerning, but it will only get worse. For the next 2 hours, Sam's truck goes off the grid. It's completely unknown where he went, and no CCTV cameras managed to capture his location. Luckily, at 1 p.m., his truck would be back on the same street he circled on for hours that morning, and eventually he would make his way back to his own home at the Cottonwood apartment complex. But things were different in all the recordings past 1 p.m. Elaine was no longer with Sam. Cameras had clearly captured that Sam was nowhere near Mike's house the entire day, so why would he feel the need to lie about where he dropped Elaine off? This footage makes Sam out to look awfully suspicious. And while both Sam and Mike have some strong dirt in their name, Sam's clear lies convinced officers to bring him back to the station the very next day. This time, to confront him on his false alibis. Unbeknownst to detectives, this very interview is part of a months-long game of cat and mouse involving a high-speed pursuit, unsettled clues, and a chilling discovery. Before we get to that, life by today's sponsor, ShipStation. Every business owner knows the headache of juggling multiple shipping platforms and carriers, especially after the holidays. That's where ShipStation comes in. ShipStation brings order to the chaos by letting you manage all your shipments in one place. No more juggling between different platforms or leading afterwards. ShipStation features guarantee you always have the best prices across all your carriers. The intuitive dashboard with everything fingertips, making order management simple and efficient. Businesses save up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates. The best part is ShipStation automates everything. Shipping labels, tracking updates, carrier selected, and integrates seamlessly with all your shipping platforms. No matter how big the business grows, ShipStation grows with you. They also affordable funds with a shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to ShipStation.com and use code INSANITY to sign up for your free trial. That's ShipStation.com, code INSANITY. With that said, let's get back to Sam Bremer, who had just been brought back in the interrogation room to explain the inconsistencies in his alibi.
Elaine Gwynne, you told me that you got a phone call from her, you went to pick her up from her. So if you do me a favor, and just kind of go through that timeline again, you know, that it's somewhere around 8:30, so you just kind of go through that timeline again as far as...
Okay. But anyway, she texted me that morning, and I texted her back, I called her. She wanted to come here. Because some girl was supposed to pick her up, and she ran out of gas. So I went to pick her up, and she got shot. I left, and she went out to the apartment. Because she had something like that, she can't get out. And so she came along my way. So we were going and she went to my house. So I went to my house, and she was there for 10 minutes. She went back in, and we went back on somewhere, and she asked me to drive her back up to his house. But she gave me contact with me, I was going to her house. That's when I got here, she got, you went to her, turn on you. And she said, okay, so you went there to drop her off then, and she was like, I went up, and she only went in case she was there. And she got shot, and she got shot, that's why I changed her back in there. Okay, so you went back on my way, back in the house?
Is that earlier? Or you...
No, she got shot, she only went in.
She said she made her close to you after driving his left again.
No, that was in her house.
Clearly, Sam is lying about where he was the day of Elaine's disappearance. The detectives know it, and it seems like Sam is starting to realize he won't be able to keep up his fake story for much longer. Even after being told by cameras showing him nowhere near Mike's house the entire day, Sam insists on his story that he did in fact drive Elaine off at Mike's house. With this, the detective could take a brief break from the room to watch the footage over again, just to check that Sam is 100% lying. And to nobody's surprise, the footage showed Sam on the opposite side of town during the time he claims to have been at Mike's. So the detectives returned to the interview room, they'll use this information to try and get Sam to own up to his lies.
That's all the same thing, right? You talked about, okay? So you said you dropped her off, probably when I went to that residence. You headed back to your apartment. We checked several cameras, okay? You had your place at the robbery. And we had your truck on west side, 928 and I'm going on. Okay, when you passed the robbery in the west. So you didn't go on, we were going on. Do you remember what you did a reason? Where you go? I don't know. Well, sure doesn't lie. It's your last way. Okay. Yeah, that residence robbery and 928 a.m. I'm going west, 340. And then 1 hour later, you come back from home. And you're going to back to your house. 1 hour later. Where's it? Come on.
Sam is stuck at this point. No matter what information happens to reveal, he will not do anything. At this point in the interview, all Sam has left is to simply reject everything the detectives tell him. They know Sam is telling the truth, but why he's not telling the truth is what remains to be seen. However, with Sam seemingly uncooperative, all they have to do is end the interview and let Sam back onto the streets. Until more concrete events can prove he had more to do with Elaine's disappearance than he claims. But fortunately, letting Sam back onto the streets would lead them to the exact evidence they were looking for. While law enforcement was working away this case, another investigative group would be working in the dark. Elaine's family. Everyone held hope that Elaine was still alive, but with time passing, her family was demanding answers. Sam and Elaine had a long history of arguments, physical assault, and much more the family was well aware of. They knew Sam had more information about Elaine's whereabouts than he had told them. So, 50 days after themselves, Elaine's son, Jack, would show up to Sam's door that same night, and he would pound on the door and upon opening, Jack would ask the simple question, what the hell did you do to my mom? In Jack's words, Sam stared at him as if he'd seen a ghost and then shut the door in his face. Sam panicked. Whatever he did to Elaine, people were starting to catch on. Later that night, Sam would talk to his granddaughter, Emily, and would claim he was going to harm himself so that he could go visit his grandmother. This shocked Emily as it arrives, Elaine was still alive. Quickly, she would call 911 to report everything Sam had just told her, and shortly thereafter, police would locate a drunken Sam at his local bar.
How's it going? Is this real? Yeah, can I talk to you real quick? Yeah, hey, we were calling Jeff welfare. Okay, I talked to your grandmother earlier, and she was concerned about you, so mistakes you made her. I'm here for you, man. Tell me what's going on. Why are you feeling what you're feeling?
My girlfriend is like a week ago. We broke up. She was with another guy. And apparently, both of them.
What's his name?
Don't think I know because Mike. We broke up. She didn't know ago. She moved with him. She told me Friday he was trying to mess with her. So I called my son to see if he moved back to the house. So I called my son to see if he moved back with her. And then I went to his house, got her stuff, her and my son. And then the next morning we went to work and she never got to him. So I don't know.
So what comments did you make to your grandmother that was be concerning this evening?
I just thought I was going to have to mention that. That's it.
And did you make something about seeing her all night? Did you make something about seeing her all night?
No.
I would like for you to talk to me tonight. I would like for you to talk tonight professional. Okay, I don't have to drag you to the hospital, but I'm certainly willing to make myself with grandmother tonight. Can I live?
Oh, she called you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
She's crying in the doctor. She's very emotional. Her best friend in her friend is what he said.
Wow.
based on it's only tonight, I'm going to be welcome. You can go let me talk to you professional tonight, or I can take you out there and stay here for 72 hours. Okay? No. Based on what you told us, what's going on in your life right now, you need to talk to somebody. I don't think we need to do a diligence to your job to make sure that you don't hurt yourself based on what's going on with you and your girlfriend. Okay? You need to talk to somebody tonight. Okay? And so the best course of action is to go to the hospital of your choice to go talk to somebody about it tonight.
Sam's mental state was clearly deteriorated. Whatever happened to Elaine, regardless of his involvement, was really getting to him. Following this, Sam will be placed in a psychiatric facility for the next 2 days to be under therapy and psychiatric care. During these 2 days, detectives were aimed to gather more intel on the case. This time, by interviewing family of Elaine and Sam, they interviewed both Justin Bremer, Sam's son, and Nicole Schipper, Elaine's daughter, and both of them revealed significant details crucial to solving the case.
I just want to get as much history as you can tell me you're talking about when it comes to your mom. What was the relationship like with her?
I'll help you.
What do you mean by that?
He now like her drinking. He thought he could change her from just get her to stop drinking. I told him that he can't. If she won't change her, she's not going to change her man. And he seemed to think that he could change her, so he kept trying with her. But there was things on his part and her part that were not healthy. They both had jealousy issues. They both had. He has a very short temper, and Will is able to end off, and it's ridiculous. When they were good, they were good. But when it's not, I was constantly in the middle of it because she's my mom, and that's his mother's dad.
They were doing everything. That's what she was doing. She bit her, she argued, they started arguing. They just escalate. Next day, they just do whatever.
So she did it?
No, never seen it. So she tried my neck both times, but that's
Why did you heard about
no, she tried to okay.
It seemed like Sam and Elaine had a rocky relationship, but it rarely escalated to full violence. And if the police did turn violence, it was Elaine doing the physical harm to Sam.
The week prior to last Monday, what was going on?
They're separated. She called me before she went missing, telling me how she wanted to get out with him because she's tired of him telling her out for all reasons. And she said not, would be obviously with him because he sits on that small things and just takes her out.
Did anyone want to go, or did your dad want to go the same? Okay.
Get back out. So he stopped me, just separated.
Sam's family strongly suggests that Elaine was in fact trouble in the relationship, and Sam tried over and over to cover up his life. This only perplexed detectives, and simply doesn't explain why Sam's acting so strangely following Elaine's disappearance. 2 days after his interviews, Sam will be released from the psychiatric facility. Fortunately for Sam, no new leads have come out regarding Elaine's death, meaning he could finally have some peace for the first time in the last week, or so it seemed. Because on February 21st, the same day Sam was released, he would have launched to restop alcohol. However, right as Sam was about to get in his truck and leave, an off-duty officer spotted him and decided to ask some questions related to Elaine. Hesitantly, Sam asked him to move his truck, and then he would talk to the officer. But when she got into his car, Sam would slam on the pedal, nearly hitting the officer, and flooring his truck down the road, flying past pedestrians. The cop would jump in his car and begin chasing Sam, who would almost pick up speed as he ran to over 100 miles per hour on a peaceful road south of Idaho. The chase continued for multiple minutes, but it became clear to officers that Sam had no plan to slow him down, so the chief officer radioed in to call the chase off. Sam had just successfully run from police, and while he was having the time of his life, this chase obviously made things much, much worse for Sam. Not only was he now highly suspected of murder, but he was also wanted for evading arrest and reckless driving. A couple hours after his escape, he would simply return back to his apartment as if nothing had happened. Ironically, this would actually postpone Sam's arrest, as more officers assumed he would be hiding on more clever plates and search around the town instead of checking Cottonwood apartments. In fact, the entire day would go by, and officers had no trace of where Sam could have gone. Fun would only last for a day, and pressure must have got Sam, as the next morning he would turn himself in to police. Sam would be charged with eluding reckless driving and be placed in a Powhatan County jail. However, Sam would only spend 1 night in jail after being bailed out by Emily. So by the grace of a miracle, yet again, Sam Bremer was back on the streets. During this time, Sam would go to the bank and handle a large stack of cash deposited into his account. This one cash would come out to be approximately $1,200, the exact amount found in Elaine's safe that she had before disappearance. Additionally, Sam dragged the truck over to the sheriff's authority, best to fully dispose of it, crushing pieces, and even shredding it after. To make sure this got done, Sam would meticulously watch the entire hour-long process, ensuring his car was turned to dust. It couldn't be more obvious that Sam had something to do with Elaine's disappearance. The lies to detectives, the disturbing comments when Elaine, running from the cops, cashing in Elaine's safe money, and now shredding the only potential piece of evidence he had left. On top of all that, detectives had looked into claims involving Mike Rockman and discovered that Mike was at work all day at Omaha, Nebraska, nowhere near Sugar's Diner, where Elaine was last seen. All that leaves Ivan Sam Bremer as the final suspect. But with no direct evidence, all law enforcement could do is wait until new clues came their way.
So we're going to go I'm shooting whatever, and there is a dead body on the road. It's been over.
On February 26th, Elaine's body was found under a bridge just miles away from Sam's apartment. The body wasn't recognizable. The clothes matched the exact outfit Elaine was wearing the day she disappeared. Someone had killed her. Medics were pronounced Elaine dead on the scene, and she'd be taken to the hospital to have an autopsy done to determine her cause of death, but her results would come back strange. Elaine had 8 blunt force impacts to her head and a fractured front tooth. Well, gruesome. None of these injuries were sufficient to cause her to die, so her cause of death would be ruled as undetermined. Unfortunately for police, this meant they wouldn't be able to immediately charge Sam with murder. However, with all the sufficient evidence they gathered throughout the course of the investigation, they had enough to charge him with abuse of a corpse. Quickly, they received an arrest warrant. For the 4th time that month, officers would arrive at Sam's apartment, this time to finally seal his fate.
Hello, good morning. Looking for your grandfather. Is he here? Okay, just 1 second. Just go. Same idea. Okay, is anybody else in there?
No, just him.
Okay, is he got any guns or anything like that? Okay, we've got warrants, so we can talk to him. Just let the officer down right there.
Ivan! Step out here. Show me help. Hey.
Okay, come here, I want you to rest. I'll just look at you. Oh, please, okay.
Sam's games had finally come to an end. Sam would eventually go to court for the murder of Elaine Gwynne. Forensic pathologists would spend weeks investigating Elaine's death, and eventually they would discover zipper marks on the neck of Elaine, signifying she was strangled to death, likely by Bremer. This pile of circumstantial events seemed to be enough for the jury, and on November 17, 2023, Ivan Samuel Bremer was charged with second-degree murder, abuse of the corpse, and theft. He was sentenced to 65 years in prison.